if they're going right back or not. Let's take a look.
Looks like Phil has gone and switched to Samus, so it should be interesting to see how Samus fares against Incineroar. And they also went ahead and changed their stage over to Pokemon Stadium 2. So Samus is an interesting pick. I think if Phil is able to set up the projectile trap game, then maybe he's going to be able to keep Incineroar at bay. But we'll see. I mean, we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen Spyking in bracket before, so he might be able to play around the projectiles pretty well. I know that projectiles can be a little bit tough online, but it doesn't matter here. I mean, if it lags, that's too bad. Ooh, and we're going to see a first death. I'm not sure if that was an SD on accident doing the side B under the stage, or if they would have been able to get back. But even though he lost the first stock, he's still applying some pretty good pressure, just making sure that Phil doesn't get a free ride back to the middle of the stage. Phil's taking his time a little bit, hanging out on the ledge, just making sure that he can wait out some opportunity. And using his dash attack to whip punish. Some rolling a little bit too frequently, I feel like. I think that that's something that can be really hard. I mean, if you're rolling a lot, rolls also stale in this game. So if you roll a lot, then the roll vulnerability increases. So it can be difficult if that's your main option for defense. So right now it looks like Phil has done a great job at the character switch. It looks to be a really solid choice. He's 2 stocks up, and Incineroar or Spyking is still trying to close out that first stock. It looks like he's just not able to get in close, which I think was a good call as far as the matchup change. I know many people, like myself included, can struggle a lot against projectiles, especially online. One thing that I've heard, or at least read, can help a lot for approaching projectiles is actually walking instead of dashing or running, because when you're in a dash animation or the run animation, you actually can't use your shield immediately because you have to get through the stop animation.
Very true, very true. You know, and then I think that's obviously... Oh, look at Big Phil!
3 stock.
Phil with a 3-stock victory. Definitely got to catch that blast away victory right there. Tied it up at 1-1 apiece.
Okay, so now it's going to be interesting. I wonder if Spyking is going to have a counter pick or not, or if he's just going to counter pick to a smaller stage. Pokemon Stadium 2 is a much wider stage, so being able to pick that stage as far as which things to bring Samus to is definitely a big advantage. You just have a lot more room to run away. But it looks like Spyking is going to be staying with Incineroar, so let's see what they chose for their stage pick. Oh, just going right back to Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yeah, no indecision with these guys right now.
It's kind of shocking to me, just talking about how the previous match went. But, you know, it's whatever anyone's comfortable with. So,
yeah, you know, I think at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to for a lot of the guys. And then that's what we've been trying to do overall, is make us cultivate a scene where people do the things that they're comfortable with. That's cool to start with. And then try to progressively grow into doing, you know, some of the things that make you a more well-rounded Smash player.
For sure. And those of you watching, or participants that are watching, it'll be really interesting if you could share your thoughts on the stage list and also the stage graphic as you participate and just get more experience using it. Anything that we can do to continue improving our scene is going to be something that we're going to want to look into. Oof, yeah, we're getting a connection
Looks
error.
like we got disconnected out of this particular match. So, oh no, looks like we lost Phil in that one.
We lost Phil.
So let's see if we replay real quick and get a good look at where they ended up percentage-wise, just for the sake of starting the next match. I probably, with neither one of them losing, with neither of them losing a life, I officially would, if for them, suggest a restart on matches. Just because it didn't effectively have too much of a definitive ending in that way. It looks like we've got some type of overall connection error. Let's see what's going on.
Yep, looks like we're gonna have to start up a new lobby. That's okay.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do online, right?
Exactly right. Well, that's one thing. All right. Well, while I patch this up, guys, I will. We'll come right back. All right, and it looks like we are back with a brand new lobby, just with a different ID, same name, same everything else. And looks like I was able to get Spyking to hop in already, and so Zeno, it looks like we're going to get Phil to come back in just a second and continue out the match we were watching just a second ago. But they split 1-1 apiece. How do you feel about how things were going?
I think it's going to depend a lot on if Spyking is able to adjust to the projectiles. When Phil changed it up to go with Samus, it looked like there was a really drastic change for the matchup. I know, like I've mentioned before, dealing with projectiles online is just a whole different game. So if Spyking slows it down a little bit and uses their walk option and has the ability to shield more frequently, I think that they might be able to catch it up. But that said, it's all going to depend on how patient they can play, but maybe they don't really like to.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I think that, obviously the adjustment here is how do you get around, how do you get around a stage that very much favors if you fall down in front of me, I get a chance to shoot you, right? And I think what's interesting is Incineroar has a little bit of variety, but I think most people, especially when you're, a novice and you're just getting into it with the character, you probably feel slightly limited. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're getting back into the full game, and it is 1-1 apiece.
Okay, so back to Pokemon Stadium 2. We've got Samus and Incineroar again. Newt, to catch you up, Spyking took the first game. I believe it might have been, I don't recall if it was a 2-stock or not. But Incineroar took the first game against Phil's Fox.
Yep.
And then Phil brought it over to Pokemon Stadium 2, switching over to Samus, and actually 3-stocked Spyking from there.
Oh.
So we're at game 3 now. We did have a issue with the battle arena. It did disconnect. And when it did disconnect, though, I believe that Phil was leading in percent. He had a pretty big percentage lead.
Yeah, I think he was up by about 40 or 50. Yeah.
Yep.
But they were both at 3 stocks?
Yeah, no one lost a stock.
No stocks taken yet.
Okay, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Like, it was just the very beginning of the game. So I'm assuming this is still game 3, just restarting.
Exactly.
Yep. Ooh, Phil's gotta be careful with those rolls. Yeah, because...
Yeah, one thing that we did notice before, he was using roll quite a bit, and I mentioned that roll staling is definitely a thing in this game.
Yep. I think one thing too that Phil could probably improve on is so I noticed that he rolled 3 times to engage into Spyking, and that's basically what caused him his first stock right there. But he can always be patient, and he doesn't always have to engage. He can always force Incineroar to approach him.
Yep, especially as a projectile player or character like Samus.
Yeah.
They got a lot of tools to play the trap game.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so he got a kill right there just from rolling a force smash, but Spyking had a unsafe engage there. I was just about to say Phil might want to be careful with just hanging on the ledge a lot. That tends to be an issue I do a lot. But if you hang on the ledge a lot, you don't have too much stage control, and you don't have that much option of trying to space your opponent out as they engage.
Mm-hmm.
But in this time, it looked like it worked in his favor this time. So, ooh, okay, so they're both back up to pretty close in percentage-wise. But Phil has stage control. He almost gets him with the charge shot there. Oh man, that side B. If that was anywhere but mid-stage, Phil would have lost that stock. Oh, and the Phil gets the charge shot. Catches him with the roll. Okay, catches his roll with the charge shot.
So far, it looks like Phil's still up. So
Yeah.
I think
As
that the
spiking-
projectile switch was a really good call by Phil.
Yeah. The Spiking seems to be struggling a little on how to get in safely without taking too much damage. Oh! Okay. Nice. That was really well done by Phil. He played it pretty safe. He didn't do anything too dangerous.
Just catch a
Yeah,
quick
one thing that I'd
replay
like
of
to
that.
see Phil do in the future is just mix up the levels that you can control with the different projectiles. I see a lot of grounded projectiles.
Okay. Kind of like a short hop
Yep.
blast. Okay.
Yeah, short hop or full hop. I think a lot of that would be learning to condition the opponent. You know, you shoot a lot of projectiles at the ground level, and once they start jumping at you, then you do something to anti-air them.